Picture this. You wake up in the morning expecting a fresh start, but instead the world looks hazy. The newspaper seems blurry, your eyes sting a little, and even switching on the lamp feels harsh. For so many older adults, that cloudy film or gritty dryness isn't just a nuisance. It's a sign that something deeper is happening overnight. While the rest of your body rests, your eyes never truly sleep. They're working constantly, repairing, adjusting, fighting off the day's stress. And if they don't have the right nourishment, that quiet repair turns into quiet decline. I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Ageless Garden, where we uncover natural science-backed ways to help you stay strong, independent, and vibrant at every age. Today, I want to share a simple nightly habit involving 4 humble seeds that could make the difference between waking up with cloudy vision or waking up seeing the world clearly. Let me take you into the life of one of my patients, Rita. She's 74, a retired librarian who always had her nose in a book. For her, words were the fabric of her life. But over time, the mornings became frustrating. She told me, "Dr. Brian, I wake up and it feels like someone smeared Vaseline across my glasses. Only I'm not wearing any." Her eyes were red, dry, and scratchy. She kept a drawer full of artificial tears, using them again and again, only to feel that same cloudy discomfort return each dawn. What Rita was experiencing wasn't unusual. As we age, our retinas, the thin layer of nerve tissue at the back of the eye, are under constant stress. They're packed with omega-3 fatty acids, the same kind you may have heard about for heart or brain health. These fats are essential building blocks that keep the retina's cells strong and resilient. But here's the catch. Our bodies can't make these omega-3s on their own. We have to get them from food. And without them, the retina is like a camera lens without its protective coating, more vulnerable to scratches, inflammation, and the slow fade of clarity. That's where flax seeds come in. They may look like tiny brown specks, but inside them lies something extraordinary. Alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, a plant-based omega-3. Think of ALA as raw material your body can use to calm inflammation, nourish your eyes, and slow the march of conditions like age-related macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of vision loss in seniors. Now here's something fascinating. Your eyes actually do a lot of their repair work at night. When you sleep, your body is in maintenance mode. Cells repair, tissues rebuild, and yes, your eyes attempt to recover from the hours of light exposure, strain, and dryness they endured during the day. But imagine asking a carpenter to rebuild a house without wood or nails. That's what happens if your body doesn't have enough omega-3s available during the night. Instead of healing, the eyes continue to deteriorate. Flax seeds give your body that wood and those nails. The ALA inside them gets absorbed, travels through the bloodstream, and becomes part of the protective lining of your retina and tear glands. It's like sending in reinforcements overnight. For seniors struggling with dry eyes, studies have shown that omega-3s can improve the quality of tears. Not just the quantity, but the very composition, making them less watery and more nourishing. That means waking up with eyes that feel soothed instead of sandpaper dry. But here's the key detail. Flax seeds have to be ground. Whole flax seeds are like marbles. They often slip right through your digestive system without breaking down. If you want the ALA inside, the seeds need to be ground into a fine meal. That's when their nutrients are released and ready for your body to absorb. Rita started adding just 1 tablespoon of ground flax seed to her evening yogurt. 3 weeks later, she smiled and said, "It's the first time in years I've woken up without that awful scratchiness." Her optometrist even noticed less redness during her exam. If you're wondering how to make this work for yourself, it's simple. You can buy pre-ground flax seed, often labeled as flax meal, or you can grind it yourself in a coffee grinder. Store it in the fridge to keep it fresh. Add a spoonful to a bedtime snack. Greek yogurt, a warm bowl of oatmeal, or even stirred into almond milk. Some of my patients enjoy it sprinkled over half a banana. The taste is mild, slightly nutty, and blends into almost anything. I often say to my patients, don't think of flax seeds as medicine. Think of them as nourishment your eyes have been craving. A natural, gentle ally that works while you sleep, protecting your retinas from the inside out. And perhaps the most comforting part, this isn't an expensive supplement or a complicated prescription. It's a seed you can find in almost any grocery store, turning a simple evening ritual into a gift of clarity for your mornings. Let me introduce you to Harold. He's 68, a retired truck driver with a warm laugh and a deep voice. But when he came to see me, that laugh carried a hint of sadness. "Doc," he said, "I can't drive at night anymore. The headlights, the glare. It feels like knives in my eyes. I used to love late-night drives, just me and the open road. Now I feel trapped." Harold's story is one I hear often. As we age, night vision takes a hit. The eyes become more sensitive to glare, slower to adjust when moving from light to dark. On top of that, the thin tear film, the delicate layer that keeps the eyes moist, begins to weaken. Without that protective film, the eyes feel gritty, tired, and dry, especially in the morning. And when the eyes are parched, every beam of light scatters, making glare worse and night driving nearly impossible. So what can help? Believe it or not, the answer might be hiding in those little black seeds you see in trendy puddings and smoothies. Chia seeds. At first glance, they don't look like much. Tiny, almost weightless. But when you soak them in liquid, they transform into a gel-like consistency, swelling up to 10 times their size. That simple change tells us something remarkable. Chia seeds are masters at holding water, and that's exactly what aging eyes need. Hydration. You see, drinking water is important, but it doesn't always guarantee that the moisture gets where it's most needed. Chia seeds act like tiny sponges inside the body, helping you retain hydration in tissues, including the tear film of your eyes. That means less grit, less dryness, and more comfort when you wake up. But hydration is only half the story. Chia seeds are also packed with two powerful antioxidants, lutein and zeaxanthin. Think of them as natural sunglasses for your eyes. These compounds filter out harmful blue light from screens, lamps, and even the sun. They protect your retina from oxidative stress, the slow wear and tear that accelerates with age. In fact, research shows that higher intake of lutein and zeaxanthin is linked to better night vision and reduced risk of age-related macular degeneration. When Harold started adding chia seeds to his evening routine, the results were subtle at first. Less dryness, fewer moments of squinting in the morning, but within a month, he came back to me with a grin. "Doc, I'm not 20 again, but I can drive to the diner at night without pulling over. I feel free again." That freedom, that independence, is priceless. If you're wondering how to use chia seeds, it couldn't be simpler. Try soaking 2 tablespoons in half a cup of almond or oat milk about 20 minutes before bed. Add a sprinkle of cinnamon or a few blueberries, and you've got a creamy, soothing pudding. For those who prefer something lighter, stir them into warm milk with a touch of honey. The texture may surprise you at first, a little like tapioca. But many of my patients come to enjoy it, even looking forward to their nightly chia ritual. Here's a tip. Consistency is more important than quantity. A modest portion each evening is enough to make a difference. And over time, you may notice what Harold did. Not just clearer nights, but mornings where your eyes feel refreshed, hydrated, and ready for the day. Chia seeds remind us that sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest power. In just a few spoonfuls, you're giving your eyes the moisture and protection they desperately need. It's like applying a night cream to your skin, but for your vision, gentle care that works while you rest. Roger is a 72-year-old woodworker. He still runs a small shop in his town, crafting furniture and repairing cabinets. His hands are steady, but his eyes, well, they were starting to betray him. By late afternoon, he told me, the world seemed dimmer. The fine lines in the wood blurred, and he found himself reaching for brighter and brighter lamps just to keep working. "It's like the light isn't enough anymore," he admitted, a little embarrassed, though he had nothing to be ashamed of. What Roger was experiencing is tied to a mineral that doesn't get enough attention: zinc. Zinc is one of those quiet heroes in the body, especially when it comes to eyesight. It plays a central role in keeping the macula healthy, that small, specialized part of the retina that gives us sharp central vision. Without enough zinc, the macula becomes vulnerable. Vision may become blurry, contrast fades, and one of the most feared conditions of aging, macular degeneration, can progress more quickly. Here's the tricky part. Our bodies don't store zinc very well. Unlike fat-soluble vitamins that can be tucked away for later, zinc needs to be replenished regularly. That means your diet becomes the deciding factor. And unfortunately, many seniors unknowingly fall short. Pumpkin seeds, those crunchy little kernels you might remember from fall traditions, are one of the richest natural plant sources of zinc. Just a small handful can deliver a meaningful dose, right when your body needs it most. And when do your eyes need it most? At night, during the repair cycle. Think of it this way. Zinc is like a foreman on a construction site. It helps transport vitamin A from the liver to the retina, where it's used to make melanin. Melanin acts like a shield, protecting your eyes from harmful blue light and UV rays. Without enough zinc, that shield thins, and your eyes struggle to defend themselves. Over time, even simple tasks like adjusting from a bright street into a dimly lit room can feel difficult. When Roger added pumpkin seeds to his nightly routine, just a small portion, lightly roasted and unsalted, the changes didn't happen overnight, but after about 5 weeks he came back with a quiet smile. "I'm not squinting at the wood grain anymore," he said, "and I don't have to flip on every lamp in the shop." It wasn't a miracle, but it was real progress. His macula was finally getting the steady supply of zinc it had been missing. If you'd like to try pumpkin seeds yourself, keep these tips in mind. Look for roasted, unsalted seeds. Too much sodium before bed can interfere with hydration and blood flow, both of which are important for eye health. A small handful, about 1 ounce, is plenty. You can enjoy them on their own, sprinkle them over a bowl of yogurt, or mix them with a spoonful of applesauce. Beyond eyesight, zinc supports your immune system, helps wounds heal, and keeps your sense of taste sharp. But for the eyes, its role is irreplaceable. In fact, large studies like the AREDS trial, one of the biggest research efforts on age-related eye disease, showed that zinc, combined with antioxidants, slowed the progression of advanced macular degeneration in many patients. That's powerful evidence that this mineral is far more than an afterthought. So the next time you see pumpkin seeds in the grocery aisle, don't think of them as just a seasonal snack. Think of them as a nightly shield, a way to give your macula the tools it needs to stay strong so you can keep reading, crafting, driving, whatever it is that makes your days meaningful. Roger's story reminds us, eyesight doesn't always slip away quickly. Sometimes it fades little by little, lamp by lamp. But with the right nourishment, you can slow that fade, and in many cases, brighten your world again. Julia was 76 when she sat in my office, holding back tears. A retired piano teacher, she loved to spend evenings at the keyboard, letting her hands wander across familiar melodies. But lately her eyes betrayed her. "The notes are blurry," she whispered. "Even the large print books are hard to read. My doctor says I have early cataracts." That word, cataracts, weighed heavy on her. She feared the surgery she'd heard about from friends, feared losing not just her music, but her independence. What Julia needed wasn't fear. She needed hope, and she found it in a seed that many people overlook, sunflower seeds. These little golden kernels are one of the best natural sources of vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that plays a crucial role in eye health. Think of vitamin E as a bodyguard for your lenses. The lens in your eye is like the lens of a camera. It focuses light, giving you sharp images. But over time, oxidative stress, from sunlight, pollution, even the blue light of our screens, begins to damage the proteins in that lens. They clump together, scattering light instead of focusing it, and the result is cloudiness. That's the beginning of cataracts. Vitamin E steps in as a shield. It neutralizes the free radicals that cause oxidative stress, protecting the lens proteins from clumping. It doesn't reverse cataracts, but it can slow their progression and help your eyes stay clearer, longer. And here's the beauty of it. Your body does much of its repair work while you sleep. When you eat sunflower seeds in the evening, you're giving your eyes a fresh supply of vitamin E right when it can be put to work. Julia made a simple change. Each night, about an hour before bed, she sprinkled a tablespoon of dry roasted, unsalted sunflower seeds over a small bowl of cottage cheese or stirred them into unsweetened applesauce. It wasn't a drastic change, but 3 months later she came back with a light in her eyes. "I'm reading again," she said, And I'm playing piano at church without squinting. Her cataracts hadn't disappeared, but they had stopped progressing, and her quality of life had blossomed again. Now, a quick note. Many seniors wonder if they should just take a vitamin E supplement. The truth is, high-dose vitamin E pills can sometimes cause problems, especially when combined with certain medications like blood thinners. But food-based vitamin E, delivered gently through seeds like sunflower, comes in safe, natural amounts that your body knows how to use. It's nourishment, not overload. When buying sunflower seeds, look for dry roasted and unsalted. Salt can work against you, and oil-roasted versions often add unnecessary fats. A simple tablespoon is all it takes. If you enjoy texture, sprinkle them over yogurt, salads, or even a slice of banana. If you prefer something softer, blend them into a smoothie or grind them lightly before adding to applesauce. Studies have consistently shown that diets rich in antioxidants, including vitamin E, are linked with reduced risk of cataracts and other age-related vision problems. It's another reminder that food, real, simple food, can be medicine when chosen wisely. So the next time you see sunflower seeds, don't think of them as bird food or a snack from your childhood baseball games. Think of them as nature's little shield, a way to keep your eyes clear so you can keep seeing the faces you love, the words on a page, the keys of a piano. Julia's story is proof that small, consistent choices can protect the things that matter most. Cataracts may be common with age, but with sunflower seeds on your side, you can slow their advance and keep the world bright a little longer. By now, you've heard about flax seeds, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds. Each one has its own story, its own gift for the eyes. But the real magic happens when you bring them together, night after night, in a simple ritual I like to call the eye healing night snack. Here's why this matters. Good intentions often fade if they're too complicated. I've seen it with patients countless times. Someone is excited to start a new diet, buys all the ingredients, and for a week they're on fire. But then life gets busy, the steps feel overwhelming, and little by little, the habit slips away. That's why I encourage my patients to create one gentle, reliable routine that's easy, comforting, and repeatable. Something they actually look forward to. That's what this nightly snack can be. So what does it look like? Let's start with the base. You want something light, soothing, and easy to digest. No sugar spikes, no heaviness before bed. Many of my patients enjoy a small bowl of plain Greek yogurt. Others prefer warm almond or oat milk, which feels especially calming on cool nights. Some like the sweetness of half a mashed banana or unsweetened applesauce, while others go for a spoonful of oatmeal. Each of these bases works beautifully. The key is choosing the one that feels like comfort to you. Now comes the seed mix. 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds. And remember, ground is essential. Otherwise, the seeds just pass through undigested. 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, ideally soaked for 15 to 20 minutes in a little liquid so they become soft and gel-like. 1 teaspoon of pumpkin seeds, lightly roasted and unsalted. And finally, 1 tablespoon of sunflower seeds, dry roasted and unsalted. That's it. 4 seeds, each bringing its own support, anti-inflammatory omega-3s, hydration and antioxidants, zinc for the macula, and vitamin E for the lens. For flavor, you can sprinkle in cinnamon, which not only adds warmth, but helps regulate blood sugar. A handful of blueberries is another lovely addition, offering even more antioxidants. Some of my patients enjoy a drizzle of raw honey, no more than half a teaspoon, for just the right touch of sweetness. Now, timing matters. The best window is 45 to 60 minutes before bed. That gives your body enough time to start breaking down and absorbing the nutrients, so they're available to your eyes during their natural repair cycle at night. Think of it as fueling up your eyes just before the repair crew arrives. If you're worried about digestion, start small. Half portions of each seed can be enough as your body adjusts. Over time, as your system grows comfortable, you can increase to the full amounts. And if you want to make this foolproof, try preparing little jars of the seed mix in advance. That way, when evening comes, all you have to do is grab one, stir it into your base, and enjoy. No measuring, no fuss. I've watched many patients turn this routine into more than just nutrition. It becomes a ritual of self-care, a quiet signal that the day is ending, that it's time to rest, and that their body deserves kindness. One woman told me, "Dr. Brian, it feels like tucking my eyes into bed." That simple shift, from seeing it as a chore to viewing it as a gift to yourself, makes all the difference. And here's the beautiful part. Over weeks and months, the results stack up. Mornings that used to bring scratchy, cloudy vision begin to feel clearer. The strain of night driving eases. That persistent reliance on artificial tears lessens. Small improvements, quiet victories, but together they add up to something life-changing. So I invite you to try it, not as a diet, not as a challenge, but as a nightly act of care. One bowl, four seeds, and a little time before bed. It's simple, it's natural, and it just might give your eyes the healing they've been waiting for. You've spent a lifetime using your eyes to read, to work, to care for others, to witness the world's beauty. They've served you faithfully, and now it's time to return the favor. These four seeds won't work like a miracle pill, but they will, night after night, deliver quiet nourishment that protects, heals, and strengthens your vision. Think of them as small guardians working while you sleep, giving you clearer mornings and more confidence for the years ahead. So try this simple bedtime ritual, and remember, take care of your eyes. They've taken care of you for a very long time.